A Day for the Ducks by David McGrath. They woke in each other's arms to begin the Sunday, naked, estranged, a pair of ducks waking from dreams in which they were swans. He grabbed his underpants from the floor and struggled them on as he ran for the ensuite fast. She sprang up in search of clothes, stopping all of a sudden to outstretch her palms to God, asking him to ease up on the hangover for 10 fucking seconds. She put on a pair of sweatpants and a cardigan, hid her strapless bra and thong, draped her dress over the chair and then looked at her new shoes, found them destroyed with puddled dirt and the hangover pressing like a dirty little rotten cocksucking bitch. She sat down on the edge of the bed to collect herself, and looking into the dresser mirror, someone stared back. Someone who was more on in years than she remembered. Someone who was old. He had stopped breathing and was making a low, choking moan over the toilet bowl that ended in a dry retch until up came the sambuca, the viscous whiskey, the dark rum soup, the lager and the alco pops with the fizz still in them. He looked at himself in the mirror. Someone stared back. Someone more on in years than he remembered. Someone who was fucking old. When he finally opened the bathroom door, there was a half-naked little girl standing in front of him with a disgusted expression on her face. She had chubby cheeks and shiny ringlets, Goldilocks in her underwear. "Were you getting sick, were you?" she asked. I was, yeah, I was. Must have been bad food. "Me bollocks," the little girl said. "Vanessa, watch your language or you'll get a slap," said her mother, still sitting on the bed, not quite sure what to do or what to say or how to act. "But the smell of beer off him," said Vanessa, then lost interest in the conversation and attempted to balance on her tippy toes. She tumbled and used his arm as a support. "Wow," he said, feeling dirty and perverse in his Giorgio Armani underpants. A little girl holding him. "It's called on point. Bally. It's hard as fuck." "Vanessa, I'm warning you," she said, head in her hands and looking down at the carpet. Vanessa began showing him demi-pliés. He put both his hands over his groin, then slid one down to cover his hairy thighs. He brushed past Vanessa to sit on the bed and pull a sheet over his waist. "Come on, Vanessa, she said and stalled. "The man, get dressed." "Me dress is in your wardrobe," Vanessa said. "Jesus, what time is it?" she asked. This was serious. The game had changed. She looked at the alarm clock on the locker, then leaned in to make sure it really said the time it said. "Jesus fucking Christ, it's 10:30. Where's your granny?" "She went to hers to get ready." "We thought you were up." "Ah, Jesus! Get ready now, Vanessa, or we'll be late," she said, grabbing an outfit in dry cleaner's plastic from her wardrobe. She stood in the bathroom door a split second, took a look towards the toilet to make sure it was safe, then shut the door. The electric shower powered on. "So, are you my daddy now?" "Daddy? Oh, there, see, like..." "Relax, I'm only messing with you." "Do you swim?" "Swim? Oh, I do, yeah. Yeah, not very well, though." "I have to use armbands. Paula Dunn doesn't. She can swim without armbands, and she won't shut up about it," Vanessa said, outstretching her arms over her head in 2 wide arcs, attempting a demi-plié. Then a pirouette. "Want to see me dress? It's gorgeous." Vanessa walked over to the wardrobe, opened opened the bottom drawer and used it as a step up. She unhooked a white fluffy ball and threw it onto the bed, then tried a grand jeté down off the drawer, landing badly. "Oh, mind yourself," he said. "I'm grand, relax," Vanessa said, picking herself up off the ground. "You getting married?" he said, nodding at the big white fluffy dress. "It's me first Holy Communion today. I've to eat Jesus and all that." He put his head in his hands and pressed all 10 fingers into it hard. "You look like trampled shite. Don't get sick on my dress or I'll burst ya." Vanessa got the dress out of his vomiting radius and laid it on the ground. A chiffon, satin and lace embroidered ball of white floral pattern that materialised in his broken head like some sort of hole in the universe. She stepped inside it, left foot first, then right, and pulled it up around her, vanishing inside, except for her head. "Do me zip up, will ya?" She walked, lumbered over to him, presenting him with her back. "Oh, well, do you want to wait for your mammy to do that?" "Ow, just stop and go on." He took the zip and pulled it up quickly, catching the material in the rung. "Careful." He took it again and poked out the material from the rung, proceeding to pull it up gently, looking away as he did so, ready to leap up and declare his innocence should authorities burst through the door. "I've a tiara as well. It's gorgeous. Me dad has it outside the door. Bring in the tiara, Dad," Vanessa shouted out to the hallway. The films were all wrong. Life did not flash before your eyes in the final moments. Death did. And it was a violent one where no one could hear you scream. At the hands of Dad and all of his North Dublin cronies, armed with wrenches and vices and blowtorches, and when he begged them just to finish him off, they all laughed and singed his eyeballs with cigarettes. "Relax," said Vanessa. "I'm only messing with you. Where are you from? The country?" Yeah, I'm from Mayo." "Do you have any brothers and sisters?" "I've a sister." "I have 2 half-brothers. They're a pair of little cunts." She affixed her bag over her shoulder and took beaded white gloves out of it. The shower switched off. "She never takes showers when she's on her own in the house. Isn't that weird?" "What do you think of veils?" "Veils?" "The ones over your face, you muppet. The ones that you wear for weddings and maybe Holy Communions." "Veils, white veils," said Vanessa, attempting another demi-plie in the dress. "What do you think of them?" "Hate them," she said, and palmed down her bodice, reaching her head back as far as she could manage so as to make sure everything was in order. "Rotten things they are. It's a communion. What do you need a veil for?" "Does Paula Dunn have a veil?" "She must shut up about it." "Tiaras are the way forward, I think," he said. "In my opinion, to hell with veils." Vanessa took her eyes off him for a split second, and he pulled up his trousers underneath the sheet. She heard the movement and turned back round, staring unashamedly, trying to catch one last glimpse of his zigzagged underpants. He pulled out the bit of sheet that had been tucked inside his trousers with the manoeuvre, stood up and swayed a tad from the blood rush to the head. He found his t-shirt and put it on, his shoes and put them on. The socks were abandoned. "What's your job?" "I'm a sparky. I wire houses and factories for electricity, make sure it all has power and lights and that sort of thing. Yeah, electrician." "You make much dosh?" "Not these days. Work's a bit scarce, actually," he said, and waited for her to ask another question. But she did not. Instead, she tucked her bottom lip beneath the top one, folded her arms at the same time. her heel, the only part of the right foot that touched the carpet. Right, communion, he said, and reached for his wallet in his back pocket. He found a 20 and a fiver. It was the last bit of money he had until Thursday's dole. He pinched the fiver inside his wallet and looked at her, looking at the notes. He took out the 20 and gave it to her. Cheers, she said, slipping it inside her bag. What about the 5? You want the 5 too. What do you need it for? He handed the 5 over too. She slipped it inside her bag with the 20. You want the wallet and all? He said. No, I've a purse. The bathroom door opened and she came out dressed in a coral pantsuit and white blouse, her hair cleaned, her face scrubbed, teeth brushed and rinsed twice with mouthwash. She looked rejuvenated and put a spring in her step to show she was rushed, that he had to skedaddle. She plugged in the hairdryer and began shaking it, running it through wet strands of hair. Vanessa, are you ready? I have to put my shoes and socks on. Well, go do it, will you, or we'll be late. Vanessa went to her room. He stood up, shifted weight from one foot to the other. She looked at him in the reflection of the dresser's mirror and shook the hairdryer harder through her hair. I'll get off. Get out your way, he said. Okay, she said. Any of the buses at the end of the road take you into town? Brilliant! Good luck with it. What? She said, over the noise of the dryer. She switched it off and turned round to look at him, making sure not to smile, but not to frown either. Neutral, keeping it neutral. Oh, I just said, good luck with the communion. She's a nice kid. She's funny. Thanks, if I could just stop her swearing. It's a phase with them, isn't it? He said. He was doing well, like. Mature. She's just doing it to get noticed. Well, I think you have the next big ballerina on your hands there. I'll be watching out for her. Right, yeah, she said, turning back round. No, it's just that I'm off to Canada soon. Toronto. I remember you saying, she said. No, I meant, he said and stopped. She watched him raise his hand behind his ear like he was about to ask a question in school, but not quite sure whether it was a stupid one or not. He took a step to her, outstretched a hand, made to say something, and then decided against it. Bye, he said, finally. His eyes opened hard, suggesting that maybe she could say something instead. Bye now, she said, switching on the hairdryer and getting to work on the strand still wet. He turned. She got on with drying. He hurried down the stairs and opened the front door, then closed it behind him. The rain had started, and the puddles collected. Drops dripped from the locked bicycles, and that was it, really. A day for the ducks. The houses snoozed on, curtains still drawn. The cars stayed parked, nobody to work, nobody for a job, nobody venturing out for fresh orange juice or breakfast rolls, nobody even able to look at food. A time fit only for paracetamol and maybe a hammer over the head to knock you out until one day. He looked up at the bedroom window. It'll be fine, Vanessa said through the letterbox. Thanks, he said. Do you want a loan of some money? No, he said. I'll be all right.